Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. This is Faith here, and I am here tonight to just really talk about something that's always super important to me, and obviously for my clients as well. So I had a conversation today with a client of mine. We were sort of sharing just kind of some thoughts on, how people sort of respond to your business, your brand, your services, all those kind of really interesting things. And I was sharing with her that, I saw a post on Instagram and it said something along the lines of, the fees that I charge are based on my years of experience, the demand for my time, the results I get from my clients. They are not based on your budget. And she was just completely blown away. And actually, when I saw that post on Instagram as well, I was like, yes, tell it. Because one thing I know, is that when you know your stuff, when you bring value, when you know truly that you bring value and that you are so completely focused on bringing the results that you bring for your people, that you absolutely cannot let other people tell you what you need to be charging for your services. Let me say that in just plain English, like what I put in my title. What you charge for your services is nobody's business. Hey Jill, how are you, my love? Thanks for joining. What you charge for your service, your services, your products, whatever it might be, your consulting, your coaching packages, it's nobody's business. The only person or persons you need to be concerned with as you are developing pricing for your products and services is yourself and the creator of our universe. That's it. If you can look at yourself in the mirror and you know your stuff. You've been at this thing for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Like myself, I've been at this for 25 years. I had a friend who told me the other day, somebody was saying, Faith's, her packages are so expensive. Yes, absolutely, they are, because it's the value that I bring. It's the value of transformation that I bring to my clients. So I just want to encourage you tonight to just stand firm in your truth. As long as your conscience serves you well, as long as you know all is good with you and the Creator, that you have been at this thing for a long time, you've developed expertise, you know your stuff. People are coming to you. People are coming to you for the information. They're looking to you. I had somebody today, perfect example. Hey Brenda, thanks for joining. So glad you're here. And tell me if this is resonating with you. I had one person today send me a message asking me a question. Let me just be clear and say that this person is not a client of mine. Right? This person has, already declared that they're not looking to pay for my services, but yet still and in fact, they want me to give them insight, information, data, background on something that they need to do to advance their business. Do you see this face? Mama didn't raise no fool, right? And let me just give you a perfect example. Let's just take Louis Vuitton, right? One of my favorite brands, but let's just take Louis Vuitton as an example. You cannot walk into any Louis Vuitton store, whether here in South Florida, shout out to all of my people in South Florida, whether in New York City, whether in Paris, whether wherever, and say, I don't understand why your GM Never Full is so expensive. It's canvas. There's a little bit of, leather piping that goes around the edges and the handle. I don't think it's worth $1,000. I want to pay you $50 for that. Do Do you see Louis Vuitton's face? Unbothered. Because then this is not for you. You, this potential client, right, of Louis Vuitton, you don't get the opportunity to tell me how to price my product. You don't get to tell me how to determine the worth and the value of the Never Full, right? I want everybody to hear me loud and clear. When people say to you, oh, this is too expensive, or, you know, I know other people who charge less, I want you to say to them, unapologetically, unbothered, unfiltered, I have clients who pay more. And that is the truth of the truth of the truth. Hey, Isis, how are you, my love? Thanks for joining. I have a client right now who has sent me $1,000 extra for no good reason. It wasn't like they owed the money or it was part of a payment. This is on top of money for coaching them, for building their brand. And that is my experience, and that is my truth, and that is what I stand by. And that is what I want to encourage you tonight, because I'm so sick and tired of, you know, people, entrepreneurs, business owners who take that stand. Listen, guys, when we stand out on that ledge and say we're going to be the CEO of us, I'm going to be the CEO of me, that is not an easy feat. You know, when you think about that, only 1% of the population makes over $500,000, that we dare to stand on that ledge. Yes, it's very hard to get your worth, but here I want to give you, I thank you so much, my love, for sharing that. I want to give you an example. So I have had a corporate client that I've done personal branding and professional branding and some training with. And when I first had the engagement, I was like, ooh, you know, they've got thousands of employees. I'm going to give them like a deep discount because I want to get in and I want to be able to like sell my packages and my programs. And for at least 2 years, I mean, pennies on the dollar of what I would normally charge, because I'm like, oh, but if I get in and I can get more clients, etc. The third year, they came to me again and was like, oh, well, you know, da-da-da. And I said, you know what? I'm going to have to stand by my minimum. Listen to me. Could I have used the money? Absolutely. We could all use more money. I have bills to pay, right? I have my family to take care of. We can all use the money. But I want you to hear me so loud and clear. The minute you start in the discounting business, the minute you start to let other people tell you your worth, here's the thing. There is nobody that walks into that Louis Vuitton store and says, this Never Full, that's $1,000, it's too much. I'm gonna pay you $500 max and that's it. You know what's gonna happen to that person? They're gonna call security and they're gonna escort you out of the store. So why is it that we allow people who, with the full knowing that they can't ever, in their right mind, right, go into a Louis Vuitton store and say, I demand, you know, how dare you charge $1,000 for this bag that's canvas, that's not full leather? Why do we allow them to come to us and say, yeah, no, your $3,000 coaching social branding boot camp is too much. I can't, that's too much. Or your 6-month platinum branding coaching program is too much. And then we acquiesce and then we bow down and we like cower. We're like, oh, okay, well, what can you pay? Here is the lesson again. My fees are based on my years of experience, the demand for my time, and the value and the results that I bring to my clients. It is not based on your budget. So if we as business owners want to survive, I know it sounds counterintuitive because we're like, well, let me just do this because I'll get this and then they'll see the value that I bring and then, no, you've already set the standard. Let me see, Isa says, I've gotten caught in that, well, just starting to pull myself, yeah. Let's all pull ourselves together. Let's all gather ourselves. I want to be that beacon, that light for you that says, listen, even when we're hungry, Even when we know we need it, I need you to hear me loud and clear that we're setting a bad precedent. Because if I can get something for $500, I'm not likely to go pay $1,000 for it next month, right? I'm looking for, wow, if I got it for $500, maybe there's someplace else I can go get it for $4. Oh my gosh, my joy, my love, thank you. Thank you. We all need this. We all need this. We have to stand in our worth. As like I said, as long as you know that you know your stuff. Because here's the thing, guys, we can't just be good. We've got to be great, right? We've got to know we know our stuff. If you know your stuff and you bring value and you solve people's problems, do not let anybody, I don't care who they are, do not let them tell you how to price your products or your services. It's either for them or it's not for them. The Louis Vuitton Never Full is either for you or it's not for you. The Audi R8, whatever the line is, it's either for you or it's not for you. You cannot walk into an Audi dealer and say, what do you mean this car is $50,000? I think it should be $5,000. It just gets me from point A to B, right? Because doesn't any car just get you from, think about this, guys. Doesn't any car just get you from point A to B? Truth or truth? Give me some comments, give me some likes, give me some hearts. Is that not a statement of fact? Any car can get you from point A to B. Then how is it that Mercedes and Audis and Lexuses and all these other brands charge so much for their models? It's because they value it at a certain point. It's because they have people. This is the key. What the price that the market will bear. They have people who will come in and say, oh, this C-Class, did you say it was $50K? Sign me up right away. So the market will bear what the market will bear. You just have to be in the knowing that you have got to find your people. But as I used to say, you're so right. I'm so annoyed with myself for getting stuck into that. Don't blame yourself, honey. Listen to me. I'm sitting here in front of you as a 25-year Fortune 500 brand influencer who's worked on brands like IBM and Microsoft and AG Edwards and Liberty Mutual and Mary Kay, where I've worked for agencies where clients have paid us $75,000 just to give them ideas. This is not building a campaign or anything. Just give me 2 weeks of your ideation. I'm going to pay you $75,000 for what comes out of your creative mind. And still yet even I fall prey. And that's why tonight, normally I don't do my lives this late, but I was so annoyed, so pumped up. So I was just like, God was like, I don't care what look, do you see my nails? He's like, I don't care if you look a hot mess. You have to get on and talk to the people. How do you recommend finding the right client? Brilliant question. Brilliant question. You have to say who you're for and who you're not for. Because I have a situation where so I have my speakwithfaith.com, which is my URL where anybody who wants to talk about personal branding, building their business, etc., I have them go to that link, they answer a couple of questions, and then we have a free brand consulting, brand discovery session. One person said, one question I have is, if you get value, would you like to learn more about my coaching services and how, I can help you build your business? That person said no. So already I know going into that session, hey Kenya, my love, how are you? How's it in the ATL? Already I know that person isn't about this entrepreneurial life. They're already demonstrating just by that very action of clicking that button that says no. It's like, I want to take from you an hour of your time, because anybody who's ever been on a strategy session with me knows I lean into you. I give you I dedicate my brain powers to you for that full hour like you were a paid client. That is just the God in me. Because guess what? Here's what I know like I know. God's going to multiply me 10,000 times, tenfold, overflowing, stamped down, running over. I'm not worried about it. But it's just that behavior that says, yeah, I want to get from you, but I'm not trying to give to you anything. I'm going to bless that person remarkably, and I'm all good. I'm all good with that. But so Isis, to answer your question, I talked about this on my other live. It's like you want to get to, Isis, tell me a little bit more about your business and your brand. Tell me what industry you're in and what you do. And because I was saying for people who are like in coaching, business consultants, strategists, etc., instead of sending people to your website, you get a Typeform account. And I believe the Typeform account, you have there's a free version, but if you want to link it to your calendar system, I think you pay $30 or $70, something like that a month. But the bigger point is that you have people pre-qualified. They answer questions before. What does he say? Oh, event planner and style shoot. Oh my, honey, we've got to, why have you not been to Branding Over Lunch? We've got to meet. We got to talk about this thing. I love this. So event planning and style shoot designer. Wonderful, honey. Come to Branding Over Lunch in April. Let's chat. But I want you, I'm used to helping sweet couples and leveraging my couples just to help. But it's really, yeah. We got to get out of that rat race. We got to get out of that rat race. We can't be giving stuff away. You need to pre-qualify. Hey, my love. Hey, Diana, how are you? You need to pre-qualify, Isis. So if you have a Typeform account, go to typeform.com. My URL that I got from, that I connect to my Typeform account is speakwithfaith.com. Anybody, nobody gets here's the thing. Because listen, you have the cookies, right? If they want to work with you for your event planning, if they want to work with you for your design services, they have to take a couple of steps towards you. I want you to typeform.com. You need to have people, because think about this, guys, and I said this in my other life. When you go to your doctor's office, if you're going for the very first time, don't you have to fill out some paperwork? They're asking you a whole bunch of questions, your medical history, but also they're like, here's the HIPAA thing. I need you to get your signature on this. And who am I sending? Who am I sending information to if and when I need to share, results? And you're like, yeah, send it only to me, or you can leave a message and tell this person. They require, I can't just roll into the MD and be like, hey, Dr. Barry, I'm here. Just need some lisinopril, 20 milligrams, and then I'm out. No, I've got to do what he says is his process and his system for running his business, because he is the CEO of him. So if I want to get services from my MD, he requires me to fill out paperwork and agree or disagree to certain things. If I disagree, I don't get any service. If I'm like, nope, I don't want you to do X, Y, and Z, he's like, well, that's not our process. We can't service you. It is so important to get out of that desperation energy. There are times when you see the potential of the money and you're like, ooh, I need this extra 1,000 or this extra 2,000. I'm just going to do this thing. But I'm telling you, you're selling your soul to the devil. Let's not do it, guys. I'm putting myself in this coaching session tonight. Let us not do it. Let us just be intentional that we are going to find the right people. The way you start to find the right people is you pre-qualify people, right? You pre-qualify them. Oh, you have an event coming up, because they're going to waste your time. I said, if they don't have the budget, right, that you require to do a 20-person event, if they only have $1,000, but they want a 50-person event at, some luxurious beach location down in South Florida, it's not going to work out for them. Just like Louis Vuitton says, my never full is $1,000+. That's the starting conversation. Do you want the accompanying luggage? Okay, then it's going to be extra. Do you want the accompanying wallet? It's $400. But the starting point for the never full, right, is $1,000. You have to make sure that before you get people wasting your time, you pre-qualify them. So you have some form, whether it's that you ask them a series of, listen, if you don't even have the type form, you're like, I don't have a budget for that right now. You send them an email with, in the email, just type out the questions that they need to answer before you get on a call with them. That is the best, first, most inexpensive way to protect your time. You want to ask qualifying questions, right? What have they done before in terms of, have they ever, hosted an event, produced an event of this magnitude? Is this their first 50-person event? You want to get a sense of if this is a serious player or not. Because here's what I know, guys. I am one person. Though I look like Superwoman and I play Superwoman on TV, I am one person, right? And so what annoys me to no end is that when people try to waste my time, get on my schedule, knowing full well they have no intention of moving their business forward. They have no intention of taking any step, but they just want to give. That's an hour and a half I could have dedicated to somebody else who is really intentional, really, really, really wanting to move their business forward. But that person just blocked off an hour and a half of my time. So I don't have that time to give to the person who really wants it. So this is the other thing. When you get on your lives like this, is Diana saying? I've done it too many, yes. And that's what I was saying to Isis. Don't feel badly. We are all equally guilty. We are all equally suspect. But I'm coming on tonight to encourage, to share, to be transparent, that we just really have to know our worth. When you think about what God Almighty himself, the creator of the universe, says about us, is that we were created just below the angels. We have to know our value and our worth, right? You know the story of the talents. The person who got 1, 5, and 10, you're expected to multiply that, right? It's not just dig it under the dirt and save it. And it's like, oh, look, I still have the 1. He's like, no, you evil servant. I expect you to multiply my money. It is not our money. It's God's money. He wants us to multiply it. How do we multiply our money? We stand in the truth of our worth. Do not let any person, hey, Stephanie, how are you? Thanks for joining, love. Do not let any person tell you what you should charge. Period. Done. End of story. I don't care if you're delusional. I don't care if you're like, you know what? This tassel that I made, I didn't make it, but I'm just saying if you're a jewelry person. This tassel that I made, and I'm a arts and craft person, I'm gonna sell this for $1,000. These are hand beaded. Because can we talk about hand beading and couture? Guys, type in the comments if you know the difference between ready to wear and couture. Yeah, if you do, tell me. If you don't, tell me either way. What's Diana saying? Yeah. Yes. Couture, it's one of a kind. It's not pret-a-porter. It's not ready to wear. It's not hanging in a rack in 50 different stores. So I could say I handcrafted this coral tassel with coral that was excavated from South Florida, Key West. And this is only, I'm going to charge $1,000 for this. If I wanted to charge $1,000 for this, it is nobody's business. Right? The question becomes, will the market bear it? Is there a person out there who goes, oh my gosh, did you say handcrafted? I love handcrafted things. $1,000, please. Do you have any others in turquoise? Do you have any others in lapis? Then you know you have a market for it, and you have people that you need to go find, the people who value what it is that you do. Hey, DVG, thanks for coming on, my love. Listen. This topic is right up your alley. You know, we talk about this all the time. Do not concern yourself. I want you to remain unbothered. So the story I was telling you about the corporate client who I'd given all these discounts to, and by the third time I was like, listen, I'm nobody's doormat. Listen, I'm a Christian, I'm a giver, but don't take me for a fool. And I said to the person, I said, listen, unfortunately, I'm going to have to stand by my minimum. It's like, well, we don't have the budget. Listen, I'm happy to find you some other potential speakers, some other potential trainers. I sent an email, I gave them some names, and I was out. I was like, God, you are in control. You said that your plans for me are to prosper me, and I'm walking in that truth. I let that go. Next thing you know, probably another 2 weeks or so, I get an email back. Oh, hey, Faith, we just wanted to check in. We were able to find the budget. How now, brown cow, right? So just imagine if I had let the desperation for money, like, oh my God, and I stood firm, I stood in my truth. I said, this is my minimum. And I walked away from it because you just have to believe, guys. You have to know God is going to take care of it for you. Just keep doing you. Just keep knowing your stuff. Just really, hey, Sherry, how are you, my love? I haven't seen you forever. I hope you're doing well. Just really know that you know your stuff like you know your stuff. It is nobody's business but between you and God himself, because he is the one who's endowed you with the gifts and talents, right? What my fees are, I'm going to repeat the post that I saw on Instagram. My fees are based on my years of experience, the demand for the time, the results I deliver for my client, the value I bring. It is not based on your budget. I just need everybody to rally around that. Because just like you're not going to walk into Louis Vuitton, you're not going to walk into an Audi dealership, you're not going to walk into a BMW dealership and say, no, this X5 is way too expensive. How dare you charge $50K? This is a $20K max. That's all I'm paying you. We would never dare, because what? BMW is more than us? Audi is more than us? Louis Vuitton is more than us? No. You got to stand in your worth. You're like, I know my stuff. And if you want me, if you want to get me, you want to get my insights, it's going to cost. Too many people want to take entrepreneurs and business owners as a charity case. And Diana's on, she's a business profit coach. She can tell you what the percentage is. 75%, Diana, type it in. 75% of business owners that were, like fail within 5 years. You know why? A lot of times, lots of other things, because we're giving our stuff away. Because what, we're looking for friends? We want people to like us. We want people to think kindly of us. We are in the business. I tell people all the time when you come to Branding Over Lunch, I may look like I'm a socialite, I may play one on TV, but this is a for-profit endeavor. I am here to help you grow your business. This is not a charity case. And so I don't want you to be apologetic for the work that you do, for the time that you spend going to school, going to university, going and getting certifications, having hands-on, just like sweat knowledge. Hey, Lorna, how are you, my love? Yes, Diana, 75% of businesses fail within the 5 years. Because you know what? Because you give your stuff away. That's part of it. That's not the whole thing. But we're giving our stuff away. And guess what? Here's the gotcha. You know, you've heard this saying, familiarity breeds contempt, right? Jesus Christ himself couldn't perform miracles in his own hometown because they were like, isn't that Jesus, Joseph's son, the carpenter? What's he talking about Messiah and miracles? Couldn't perform miracles in his own town because people were familiar with him. Oh, that's Mary's boy. Oh, that's Joseph's boy. He had to go far in the field to go perform his miracles and save the world. It's the same thing with you and me. People get complacent. They get familiar. It's like, oh, it's Faith. Around the way. She's fun. No issues. but they will. Somebody that they don't know, that they don't have any sort of, viability or any information in terms of their credibility, but just because they come with the shock and awe, like, ooh, I can do this and this, they'll go pay them $11,000. True story. I never come on here and tell you a lie. They'll go pay $11,000 to somebody else. So don't buy into the stories. Don't listen to me, guys. It's hard. I know. I've been there, done that. Don't buy into the story of I don't have the money. They'll go spend it for somebody else who they think, or they may be, a crush on, or a fangirl, whatever. I don't care. You can't let that side rail you. Sure, he says scary. It's true. It is the truth. Businesses fail at a surprisingly alarming rate. Part of the reason is because, number one, we're not pricing our products and services accordingly. And if somebody rolls up on us and goes, oh my gosh, like I was at a lunch the other day and I was saying, you know what? I think I'm going to create a mastermind. I'm going to charge $2,500 for it. Because guess what? I was on a webinar and a person was saying, oh, just charge it. This is what he said. Listen to me, people. This gentleman makes millions a year. He was like, just keep it really affordable. You should do your masterminds at $2,500 a month. That's what's going on out in the world. People are getting paid their worth and their value. So we can't let, because we sit in our small communities, force us to have small-minded thinking. I am rejecting that out of hand here tonight. And I'm going to be preaching this like I've never preached anything, because I am so sick and tired. I'm telling you that this person who told me, no, I don't want to hear about your coaching packages, but had the audacity to reach out and be like, oh, hey, I want to know X, Y, and Z. You're not a paid client. So if I were to go, oh, you know what? I should respond because listen to me, guys. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Let me say it again. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you. How you set your pricing is nobody's business but you and God Almighty himself. You have to be able to look within and say, you know what? Yes. Do I think I bring this value? Do I bring this transformation to clients? Do I have results? Have I actually done this thing and had this result for this person? Then you have proof of concept. You know your stuff works. If you're in beta, if you're like, you know what, if you're a baker, let's just say, oh, my love. Yes, he did. Oh, listen. Divine timing. Always, Isis. She said, seriously, God put you in my path tonight. If you're a baker and you're like, you know what? I'm trying out this gluten-free, organic, but super tasty, tastes like sugar bun thing, and you're not really sure how it's going to come out. You want to gather a few people and say, hey guys, just give me the cost for the ingredients. I'm trying this new thing. Then sure. When you're in beta, when you're in R&D, okay. Once you have proof of concept, if you're a seamstress and you have made designs and you have like saved people thousands of dollars by your work, you have proof of concept. And in fact, I'm going to share, Diana and I were talking this evening, and I was saying, yeah, I need to get like all these cases. She's like, you don't need more than like 3 or 4 case studies. I'm like, you know what? You're right. Sometimes we think we need, and that was me kind of being in this, oh, I got to prove my worth. I got to show, look, I've transformed this client. I've helped, this client who was going to quit her business. And now, she's building her brand. People know her. She's got a workshop. She's got like this, coaching program. She's got 6-figure clients coming to her. Once you have proof of concept, guys, I want you to go. I want you to go because I want you to hear me loud and clear. What does Diana say? People have begged me to coach them for free. Yes. People have begged me to coach them for free and paid someone $12,000 while I sat right next to them. Yeah. And she was $0. and she was angry at herself. Guys, this is truth, because I know exactly what Diane is talking about. This is truth. This is lesson. This is learning tonight. We're going to feel tempted. We're going to feel like, ooh, I got to get, I want to get them as a client. You don't need just any and any client. You need the right clients. Hey, Arnita, how are you, my love? How's the ATL? You need the right clients. You don't just need any and any clients. And when I get on and I say, here's who I'm for, because I want you guys to take this as well. You're not for every and anybody. Just like Louis Vuitton is not for every and anybody. If your budget cannot sustain a shopping bag, a never full, for $1,000, you are not Louis Vuitton's person. They are unbothered, because guess what? We're 9 billion strong in the universe. There are plenty of people who are ready, willing, and able to give Louis Vuitton the money that they command for their goods and services. Agreed? Yes. So what your work and your efforting needs to be is to find the right client. I just asked the question earlier, how do you find the right client? So you have, number one, you have a way of sort of filtering out the people who you spend your time with, in terms of if you're offering, free consult, or you're doing sort of like, maybe just like a quick, assessment or whatever it might be, you want to make sure you're spending the time with the right person. So you have a type form, go to typeform.com, that allows you to create a couple questions, and then the right people, listen to me, if they don't want to take the time to fill out your form, indication already, ding, 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 not the right person, because you want to work with action-oriented people. You want to work with people who are serious, right? You're not waiting on looking for the time wasters. So that's number one, right? And then you want to make sure that you are giving them some activity to do. So anybody who wants to get on a session with me, I also send them my brand assessment and the index score, so they can figure out the state of their brand, what their index score is, and send that to me before we get on the call. Again, I had another person who was like, oh, do I need to fill out all these questions to get your free brand discovery session? Yes. Don't divert from your process. The minute you start diverting and you're making acquiescence for this person and you're acquiescing here, you're wasting time. This is my process. Again, remember my example of the doctor. I can't roll up on my doctor and say I just need like 20 milligrams of lisinopril. I got to fill out the form. Treat yourself like the CEO of you. Get that CEO mindset. Everybody hashtag CEO mindset. Because I can't just roll up on the CEO of a company. In fact, I was having a conversation earlier today, and I'm like, you know what? We need to really figure out how we're going to scale to established entrepreneurs, and how do we find those people? I can't just roll up on the VP of HR and say, listen, I have this great professional branding program. It would be wonderful for your company. I just thought I'd just drop by and see if I can talk to you. They would think I'm crazy bananas. So why do we let people do that to us? So charge what you charge, what you charge. Charge what you charge, what you charge. It's either for them or it's not for them. Do not be apologetic. Do not be embarrassed. Do not make excuses. Do nothing. Remember this quote, and I'm going to find it and share it on my page. My services, the fees for my services are based on my years of experience, the demand for my time, the results that I deliver for my clients, and the value that I bring. It is not based on your budget. Just like Louis Vuitton does not price his never full on your budget, I don't price my coaching packages on your budget. The same respect that other people want to give to Louis Vuitton, let's demand it for us, because Louis Vuitton ain't got nothing on us. Audi ain't got nothing on us. BMW ain't got nothing on us. Michael Kors ain't got nothing. Pick any brand, I don't care. They got nothing on us. We were created just below the angels. Let's act accordingly. Let's act like we're royalty. Let's act like we know who we are. And so if you feel good about your price point, if you can look yourself in the mirror and say, yes, absolutely, because I know other people. Look at Diana's example. She wasn't charging this person $12K. She was given and given and given from her heart. for $0. And they whipped out their card and dropped 12K on somebody else. Familiarity breeds contempt. Don't let people who are around you who are not about the CEO life, don't let people who are around you who are not about this entrepreneurial life influence how you run your business. This is your show. You're the CEO, you're the CFO, you're the COO, you're the HR director. You run the show. You tell them how it's going to go down. And then you spend your time and your effort finding the people for whom you are here to serve, finding the people for whom receive the value and see the value and get what it is that you're doing. Like my $1,000 handcrafted coral from Key West. There are people who will pay $1,000 if you tell them it's handcrafted and these are like rare, coral from whatever. Somebody else might look at this and go, that thing for $1,000? Yes, that thing for $1,000. Do not be apologetic. If you know, like you know, your worth of what you bring, the value that you do. If you have clients who are like sending you notes saying, thank you so much. If you're seeing transformation, you know you're delivering transformation for your people. Hey, Krim, how are you? So good to see you. Hey, Andrea. If you know, like you know, like you know. So let me use Andrea as an example. Andrea does, shout out to Andrea. Like we were like Zumba instructors for a minute together. But Andrea is in health and wellness. She does acupuncture. She does, I think, Andrea, tell me what else you do. So you do, yes, Lorna, CEO mindset. And somebody might go, hey, Andrea, tell me what else. So I know you did the acu, some massage. What else? Somebody might go, oh, well, I can go to, let's just say Andrea also does massages. She'll tell me in a second. Oh, I can go to Massage Envy and get, long list. Exactly, right? Oh my gosh, with the herbs. Perfect. Let's pause on that for a second. I can go to Massage Envy and get treatments, no massage, or I can go to this, place and get herbs for $10. Why would I pay, Andrea, what do you charge for that? How do I pronounce that? Indiology herbs? You have to school me on this, my love. But the point is, I need you to be prepared and ready for why you are where you're priced, right? Like that note that says, it's based on my years of experience. I'm a 25-year plus Fortune 500 brand influencer. 125, perfect. Imagine. So somebody could go, oh, I know this dude in Okeechobee who has a farm who grows that herb and I can get it for $15 a bushel. That's wonderful, right? You're not concerned, Andrea. You're not bothered. You're just going to tell your truth of, I have been in the health and wellness field for X, Y, and Z. I have studied X, Y, and Z here. I've done this. Da, da, da. You just have to know your facts. You just have to stand in your truth. And listen to me, guys, I need you to write this down, hashtag this. Not everybody with a credit card is your client. I'm going to say it again. Not everybody with a credit card is your client. You want people who see the value. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, I have a client who sent me a PayPal money for $1,000 extra for no good reason. It wasn't like she owed it. She was just like, I just love having you as my coach. It's like, I love having a badass black woman who just like knows her stuff. I was like, okay, thank you, God. But when you know that you deliver, when your clients tell you, this has been so great, it's so wonderful, I love your customer service approach, I love the way that you checked in with me. When you know, like I know I can say without question or hesitation that there is no coach who does what I do, who delivers it the way that I do, because I overcare. I outcare my competition, right? If it matters to you, it matters to me. You want to call me on Sunday night because you're part of my VIP Brand Ambassador program? I'm here for you. You need to work on your branded bio at 10 o'clock at night, it's going to be done. My clients know that I deliver that. That's just not just lip service. So guys, if you know, like you know, like you know, yes, not everyone with a credit card is your client. Yes. And just because a man has hair doesn't mean, what does he say? Doesn't mean, exactly. Just because a man has hair doesn't mean he's a good husband. I love that. So listen, guys, if you have any questions for me, go ahead and post them. You know, if you want to do any, just kind of sharing like what your experiences have been on this. This is a big issue that I want to bring light to because, you know, as Diana shared with us, 75% of businesses fail, you know, in the first 5 years. Part of that is due because we're giving away our stuff. We're not called to be martyrs. That is not the calling. Oh, I still love you, my love. She says, you're so awesome and love to speak with you. More to come. Yes. Hey, Sue. Thanks for joining, hun. Oh, my gosh. Absolutely. 19 years. I mean, think about that. 19 years in the industry. That costs money. That level of knowing, there's value attached to that, and it's our fault if we don't communicate that value. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be doing in the April session of Branding Over Lunch, is how to help us communicate our value, right? This idea that my price is not based on your budget, but rather my years of experience, the value I bring to the clients, the demand of my time, and the transformation that I bring, the results. Because here's the thing, if you guys, I want you to, and this is what I'm going to talk about, how to quantify your transformational results. Because I could present, like, let's just say, you know, I'm like, oh, and you know, Andrea, I've been dealing with this back pain, lower back pain. Sometimes it just like gives out on me for no good reason. I'm laid up for, you know, a full day. I've got to have the heating pad. I can't work. Okay. Well, okay. So this is how you guys, this is what I'm going to train you on in April. So Andrea would ask me some probing questions. So how long have you been dealing with this lower back issue, Faith? Oh my gosh, Andrea, it's been about, I want to say 5 years. It feels like more. And when it comes on for you, how long are you down for? Sometimes 24, 48 hours. So when Andrew's in the exploratory, because when you can really show the cost, the value of what you bring to your solution. So if I'm, you know, a CEO of a company, you know, I make $1 million a year, right? My hourly rate is whatever. She can do the math and show me 24 hours to 48 hours of you being incapacitated, in bed, immobilized. What's the impact? You can't deal with your team. You can't go into the office when people don't see you. The energy of your environment goes down because, you know, like your hotshot CEO isn't in the halls kind of like rallying the troops. Quantify that. When you are not in your office for 24 hours, it costs your company $500 million. My herbal, Andrew, tell me the word again. My herbal solution, which is $125 per session, you only need probably, totally making all this up, Andrea, 5 to 10 sessions, right? You're going to invest $1,250 to have the impact of saving your company $500 million. Guys, you see what I'm saying? We've got to quantify our value. Yes, we've got to quantify the value that we bring. What is the cost to you if you don't work with a professional, adept, skilled, expert business coach who can help you move your brand from 0 to 60 in less than 30 days? What's the cost to you? I was listening to a session today. It was so astounding. For each month that you don't have a coach, you lose 3 months of momentum. What is a lack of 3 months of momentum in your business? If you don't have momentum, if you're not getting clients, or prospects in front of your information, if you're not out there, delivering your talks, if you're not out there building your funnels, like what is the cost to you to not be in momentum for 3 months? Because what is your potential when you're in flow, when you're activated, when you're up? Do you have a $10,000 month? Do you have a $25,000 month? So the longer you wait to get in action for 3 months, 25,000 times 3, that's $75K. So my program, which costs you only $9,000, is going to save you $75K if you're a person that can generate $25K in a month. You guys, you seeing this? So this is what we need to do. This is how we need to sort of stand in our truth. We need to have the data behind us. It says, this is what the value of what I bring is. This is the cost to you if you're not taking action. So not only are you not gaining because you're not in momentum, you're actually losing. So it's double trouble for you. So definitely get registered for April session of Branding Over Lunch. I'm going to go deep on this topic. I just got like so, I'm going to be like professional and not say how I felt today, but I was just like done and through. Like, really? Like, mama didn't raise no fool. You're not going to waste my time because I have other people who are serious. You know what I'm saying? Like Sue, I was talking today. I said, Sue, listen, look, you came back. I didn't follow up with you. You came back because you needed this information. You needed this coaching. And she was like, absolutely, because Sue was hungry. One of my other clients, Sandra, she's an attorney in Atlanta. She's like, I love to work with people who are of a PhD. And I was like, a PhD? She was like, they're poor, hungry, and driven. And I was like, wow, that's good. So I want to spend my time with people who are serious. So this is another thing, guys, that I want you to do. I'm going to close you with this. It is okay to say who you're not for, right? It's your time. You govern it. You should absolutely say, this is not for you if hard work is a challenge for you. If you can't show up and be accountable, if you can't show up and say yes to yourself, if you can't say, you know what, I'm putting on the blinders and here we go, this program is not for you because it's not easy. Building a brand is not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Everybody would be sitting cush being millionaires because it was like lickety split. It takes work, but it also takes an experience and a depth and an expert coach to help guide you, be your Sherpa, show you where to go through the mountain to get to that apex. And so I only work with people who are serious. I have no time for the time wasters because guess what? We're already almost out of Q1, right? We were just not like, right? Happy New Year. What are your 2019 goals, right? We were just doing that. And already we're like, wait, what? March is done? Yes, March is done. Time is going. Time waits for no man. So I'm all about the people who are serious, who are hungry, who are driven, who are sick and tired of being in the same place year after year. What did you say to me today, Diana? If you keep doing the same thing that you have done, you're going to get the same thing that you've always gotten. So I'm only for people who are serious. I'm not for the time wasters. With love, I am not for the time wasters because I have a mission and a purpose ordained from on high, right? Like I said, I came on here tonight like a mess, like, look, my nails. Like Diana was like, what? But I don't care because it's not about me. It's not about me because I'm here to do God's work, right? And I have been given this gift, this talent, this skill set. And like I said at Branding Over Lunch, I said, people, I need you to take advantage of this because I'm like a rainbow unicorn. There is no other Fortune 500 brand influencer who hailed from New York City working at like top agencies in the world, working on multinational global brands, who's sitting here in Port St. Lucie at the ready to help you build your brand to global national scale. It just doesn't exist. And so I'm only for the people who are serious. You know, if people want to dilly-dally, they want to hang out, they want to talk about the same thing year after year, that's wonderful. You know, like what does Bette Midler's song go? Love him from a distance? From a distance, right? I'm going to love him from a distance, but I'm here to do the work. I'm here to do the Creator's work, and I want to be here to serve the people for whom. What did Jesus tell you? When you go into a town and you're like with the message, they're not trying to hear it. He didn't say sit there, try to convince them, try to cajole them, read more scripture to them. He said, shake the dust off your sandals and keep it moving. I'm keeping it moving. I want to encourage you guys, every single one of you tonight, keep it moving. God says, keep it moving. We have work to do. We've got to get busy and we've got to serve the people. We can't let people who want to like dilly-dally. You know that saying, and you know, it's like a crab in a barrel. When you trying to get out, the others want to like drag you back down. Like, why are you trying to act brand new? Stay down here. No, we have work to do. So with that, my loves, I hope this was valuable for you. If you found value in this, I want everybody to be committed. Stay with me tonight. We're going to do our level best. We're going to stand in our worth. We're going to stand in our truth. We're going to be unapologetic. We're going to be unbothered by what anybody thinks our pricing is. As long as you and God himself feel good about it, and he says, yep, go do that, then all you have to do is get with the right person to help guide you, to show you where to find the right people who can hear your message. No different than a dog whistle. Not everybody can hear that, right? You understand that concept? It's blowing, but only few people can hear it. Let's go out there and make sure the people who we are here to serve can hear our message. Everybody else, we're not concerned. We're shaking the dust off our sandals and we're keeping it moving. So guys, if you're local in the Treasure Coast, go ahead and get registered. The April event is already up on the Facebook event page. It's April 16th. I'm going to be talking about this very subject, how to value yourself, how to create your worth, how to have the heft behind, the kind of like the bravado behind to say, you know what, this is what I do, and this is why I do it, and this is what I charge for it, and be unapologetic. That is just, you know, Louis Vuitton is no better than you, no better than me. Pick any brand. You know, look at Apple. No better than you, no better than me. Me, you, created just below the angels. We're royalty. Let's act like we know it. So with that, love you guys so much. Sending you off with love and light. If you love this video, share it with a bunch of your friends and colleagues who you think need to hear this message, because I know a lot of entrepreneurs need to hear this. There's a reason why I'm on here looking a hot mess with my nails in tatters, because God was like, people need to hear this tonight. It's Q1's already done. Let's be about the Father's business. Let's go share this. Let's help people understand that they have to be in the truth of who they are. You're the CEO of you. You're the child of the Most High God. He said, it is my pleasure to give you the kingdom, but he wants you to act like you know it. Like we say when we're from Brooklyn, you better recognize. So with that, ciao, my loves. Thank you guys so much for joining. Be well.